Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, it is, let's see what time it is. It is 7 after 5 on Friday evening. And I have been running all day. And as soon as I get done vlogging, I'm going to post my drama video, which is uploading right now. And I'm going to post my Peter Does Stuff video, which was an Amazon unboxing with kind of a story time as well. And then I'm going to lay down for a little bit. Alex is upstairs. He got done early today. He got done at about 2 o'clock because he took Boo Radley to get groomed this morning. Boo Radley got his his school groom, his fall groom. So he's all like shaved down real short, and he got done about, well, he was done at like noon, but Alex got off about 2 and went and picked him up. And so they've been upstairs in bed like resting ever since, and Alex is looking at TikToks, and he keeps on sending me TikToks and stuff. And so I'm gonna lay down in bed for probably like an hour and then maybe figure out what I want to do for dinner. I'm going to pull you guys just a little bit closer. Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Have you guys heard the new version of that with Britney Spears and Elton John? I really like it. I was just asking Alex if he had heard it, and he said, yeah, and I was like, what'd you think? And he goes, I don't really like it. I go, you don't? And he goes, no. I said, did you like the original? Because it sounds kind of like the original to me. And he was like, it's okay. So, yeah, I don't know what we're going to do for dinner. I asked him, I said, are you hungry? Did you eat lunch? He said, I didn't eat lunch. But he has leftover lasagna from dinner last night. I brought my leftovers home as well. But I couldn't sleep last night. So I got up, and I had leftovers from brunch, and I had leftovers from dinner, and I ate both of them last night. While I watched this drag pageant crowning. It was like Miss Texas FFI 2005 or something. Alyssa Edwards and Whitney Page won. Alyssa Edwards won Miss Texas, and Whitney Page won Miss Texas at large. Whitney Page has passed away since. I used to love seeing her in pageants back in the day. So I didn't vlog yesterday because it was Alex and I's anniversary, and we were just spending the whole day together. We had such a nice day. It was such just a nice, relaxing day. It did feel kind of weird though that, like, you know, usually we're out of town. We were actually trying to figure out what we did like 2 years ago, because 2 years ago, you know, we didn't go anywhere because couldn't travel and stuff. So we didn't go anywhere, and I don't remember what we did for our anniversary, and we were trying to figure it out. So yesterday we like slept in, and then we got up, and we went to Rise, which is this restaurant here in town. There's, I think, 2 of them, maybe 3, and they're all kind of on the north side. There's one that's real close to us. This place called Ironworks. It's R-I-Z-E, in case anybody wants to look up the menu or anything about it. And then there's one that's in Fishers, and there might be one in Carmel, but I don't know. And we sat outside, and I had coffee and orange juice, and then I got a biscuit that came with butter with sea salt. It was just like a regular biscuit. It was so good. I usually, when I go to Rise, they have these incredible cinnamon rolls, but I didn't want to be like so hungry. Because I knew that we were going to dinner last night as well, so I didn't want to be like super hungry or super full and then not want to eat dinner. So I got and when I tell you what I ate, you guys are gonna still be like, okay, Peter, that was a lot. So I got this biscuit with sea salt, butter, and then it came with like jam on it. I was asking somebody in the video the other day, what's the saying about jam, and they said it on there. It's like, it must be jam because jelly don't shake like that or something. I guess it's like a song from back in the day. But anyway, and then they have avocado toast there. Alex got avocado toast, and then he got it with egg whites on the side, and so he put them on the top. but he loves avocado toast. I love avocado toast too, so he got avocado toast. It's big. It's like 2 big pieces of bread side by side with all the avocado stuff on it. But Caroline had told me, my cousin Caroline, I think you guys know my cousin by now that I don't have to say my cousin, right? But she had told me that the last time that she went there, that she got this mushroom toast, and I love mushrooms, and that it had like Brussels sprouts and all this kind of stuff on it. So I looked at it, and it's the same thing. It's avocado toast, 2 pieces of bread, but then it had Brussels sprouts and mushrooms covered with this like Gruyere, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, this Gruyere cheese on top of it, and then this like creamy sauce. It almost kind of tasted like something Italian. It was so delicious. So I got that, and then on the side of our avocado toast, we got these, it's like one of my favorite things they have there. It's like these potato cakes, and they're like about that big, and then they're like that thick, and there are these potato cakes that in the middle of them they have like this kind of like this like beet jam to it. They're really good, and then around it they have like it's not like a, I want to say like a hollandaise sauce, but it tastes kind of like that a little bit around the edge of it. So that was my brunch yesterday. It was delicious, and I ate all my mushroom stuff, but I didn't eat, I took home half the biscuit and half of, well, more than half of that, the potato cake. I hear you in there. He's in the kitchen doing something. And then afterwards we had planned to come home and go to the pool because it was supposed to be like really nice and sunny, but by the time that we came home it was complete cloud coverage. Like the entire sky was covered with clouds. And so I was like, what do you want to do? And he didn't really want to go to the pool. So he was like, well, I could just go back to bed and rest in bed for a little bit. So I sat out here, I called somebody, I can't remember, and then I went and got into bed, and we just were in bed for the rest of the day. Happy anniversary. It was nice. Little romance time, little rest time. It was fun. And so then we were trying to figure out like where to go for dinner last night, and we made reservations at this place that my cousin likes. So I wanted to go somewhere for Italian food. And our very first date, not for this reason, but we were talking about it last night, that it's funny because we do Italian for our anniversary a lot. Last year, we did Sinatra's, which I think is at the Encore in Las Vegas. And then the year before that, we did Javier's, which I think might be in the Encore too, or the Aria, I'm not sure. No, I think Javier's is in the Encore. And that's not Italian food, it's like Mexican. It's really good though. If you ever go to Las Vegas, the Javier's there is incredible. So, but our first date was at Bravo, which doesn't exist in Indianapolis anymore. Alex used to work there, like when he was in college. And Alex's brother Fufu, who flew home today, he worked there as well when he was like in college. Was it when he was in college or after college? I can't remember. I think it was when he was after college, when he was like saving money, because he and his fiance now, Jessie, they like took this like 3-month road trip to find out where they wanted to live. And so she was working and he was working, and I think that was when he worked at Bravo. That's how they figured out that they wanted to live in San Diego. They went all over. They went to Colorado, they went camping, they went to all up and down California, and they finally decided that they wanted to be in, well, they didn't actually do their entire trip because they got to San Diego and they were like, we love San Diego so much that we know this is where we want to live. Isn't that kind of a cool way to figure out like where you want to live next? So yeah, it was like a 3-month trip, but they ended up, I think, only being like gone for like 6 weeks. I've been drinking this Diet Coke since like noon. It's a little warm, a little flat at this point. So we were gonna go somewhere for Italian last night, and there's a restaurant that we both like called Sangiovese. And there's 2 of them. There's one in Fishers and there's one right by us at the Ironworks place. My aunt used to love it, and my Aunt Kathy. Okay, you guys, the battery died and I had to go inside and get a battery in. then I ended up talking to Alex for a second. So hold on a second, let me put this back here. And then I was going back to see where the battery died, so I knew what I had been talking about. I should have just changed the battery before I came out here because I had filmed the drama video and the Peter Does Stuff video, and I knew that it was probably going to die at some point. I couldn't see that closely to know that it was like flashing. But anyway, I was talking about like us picking a place to go for dinner last night. So we were going to go to Sangiovese, because I don't know how you pronounce it. But anyway, we love it, and it used to be one of my aunt's favorite places. We used to go there a lot with her. Not a lot, but we went there a couple times with her, and she loved it. But my cousin had been telling me about this place that she loves in Westfield called the Italian House, and it's like in this little house and very quaint, and they had gone there for their anniversary, and they had gone there for her birthday this week. And so she was like, I love the Italian House, and if you love Italian food, and it's so great, and they always have really good specials. And she said it's really cute. And she said if you go though, she said don't sit inside unless it's cold outside. She said they have like a brick courtyard patio out and back, and then if you can, she said sit in the garage. And I was like, sit in the garage? And she's like, yeah, they have like this detached garage, and it has like high top tables, and there's like a full bar back there, and she said they have like, you know, booths up against one wall, and she said it's really romantic, and she's like there's like Christmas lights strung everywhere. So I had gotten reservations for 7:30. That was like the latest that they had. So we go there. We have no idea about this place whatsoever, right? So we go there, and I had put in a special request to sit on the patio. And we got there, the guy that like checked us in, he was like, there's nothing on the patio, but if you want to wait 15 or 20 minutes. And I was like, well, what do you have? We can just sit inside. And Alex was like, yeah, we can just sit inside. And he was like, well, we have something in the garage if you want. And I go, oh, that's great, because my cousin told me that we should sit in the garage anyway. And he was like, yeah, it's really fun out there. So we went out and we sat on a high top, like 4-top table in the garage. So cute, you guys, so cute. It was like white Christmas lights draped everywhere. We walked out past the house. All the doors and windows were open. There were like tables everywhere inside, and then you like go out, and there's like, we went around the side of the house, and there was like this brick patio and courtyard, and it had like those like black like wrought iron tables, you know, everywhere that people were sitting at. And then there was this detached garage in the back, and it was all open, like, you know, like where you would like pull the door down on a garage. It was like all up, and there was a full bar in there. People apparently like rent it out for wedding receptions and birthday parties and stuff like that. So it was such a perfect place for a wedding anniversary. So good call, Caroline, good call. So I had a wedge salad, although it was called something else. It wasn't called a wedge salad. I had a wedge salad with no pancetta on it. Alex had a Caesar salad. They brought bread. Alex was like, this is like the best bread that we have ever had. It was so good. It was so warm and gooey, and then like they put all this oil stuff down that was like delicious. Then Alex wanted to get an appetizer, and there were like only like 3 out of the 10 or whatever appetizers were like vegetarian appetizers. So the guy came, our server there, I can't remember, his name was Adam. He was fantastic. And he was like, oh, the ravioli is like, the fried ravioli is incredible. So we got fried ravioli, which was basically just like mozzarella sticks, but they were like triangles. And you dip it in this like tomato sauce. It was, like, that was spicy. It was so good. And then yeah, so that's what we have for the appetizer and the salads and the bread. And then I had a Diet Coke, and Alex had a glass of wine, and then he had lasagna. And you could get it split 3 ways, or you could get it 2 ways, or 1 way. You could get tomato sauce, an Alfredo sauce, or there was another sauce. And so Alex got half of it tomato sauce and half of it Alfredo sauce. He actually ended up liking the tomato sauce better, but he said all of it was good. And then I wanted to try something different, and this guy behind me had gotten, it was like salmon, and he had this like angel hair pasta on the side of it, which I called linguine to our server, and he said it comes with like this like lemon piccata sauce or something like that. So I was like, okay, well, I'll try it. Not the fish part, just the double order of the pasta. So, but it ended up coming out on linguine, and I wanted it on angel hair pasta. I was like really craving angel hair pasta, but it came out on this linguine instead, which was whatever. It was fine. It was delicious. And it had like the little, they called like capers or whatever, came out on top of it. And it was delicious. And then, because they didn't even, well, the guy, he was like, is it a special occasion? And I go, this was at the end, and I was like, yeah, it's our wedding anniversary. And he goes, I thought so. He goes, so I had the kitchen make up something special for you. And so they brought out like this really special cannoli for us. And I might still have it on my Instagram story, because I took a picture of it. Yeah, I probably still do. It said happy anniversary on it. Hold on a second. Here. That's so cute. It said happy anniversary. Oh, here's what the place looked like. There's my pajamas that I was wearing this morning. Well, my robe. My Christmassy robe. So, yeah. It was a good time. And then we came home, and we were there for a long time. We were there for like 2 hours. We got home about 10, and then hung out a little bit more. And then Alex went to bed because he had to be up so early to take the dog to the groomer this morning. And Boo had his grooming today, and he did fantastic. And he looks so sweet. I actually like, well, Alex and I both, we like Boo when he's like a little longer haired. But he needed a nail trim, and I think he feels more comfortable when he's like shaved down. He seems happier. And it's getting, or it's hot, you know. So, at least between August and September, he can like cool down. And we trim them or shave them down like, well, Tucker too in the past. The last time that Boo was trimmed was with Tucker. Alex said that he started tearing up this morning because when he took Boo Radley, Boo like didn't want to go back. And he remembered that the last time that he took him was with Tucker, and that Tucker just kind of like walked back, and so Boo followed him, and they were fine. And today Boo was like not wanting to go back by himself. But he did. Alex put a picture up on his Instagram story of him, and the good little boy. And then I got up this morning at like, I got up early. So this is what happened. So last night we got back from dinner. Alex went to bed. I went to bed with Alex, and I fell asleep for like an hour. I was just going to lay down for like 15 or 20 minutes. You know, whenever I say that, that's never going to be good, right? So I was going to lay down for like 15 or 20 minutes, and I ended up sleeping for like an hour and a half. And then I was like, I can't stay up too late because I had to get up this morning early because my friend, I feel like my camera before was like in such a good place, and now it's like not. I'm starting to get really hungry too. And I'm hoping that, anyway, I'm hoping that I have something good in there to eat. Unless we go somewhere and get something. I guess we'll figure it out when I get off here. But, because now I'm kind of craving angel hair pasta after talking about that angel hair pasta. I shouldn't have talked about it, because now I'm hungry for it again. Pasta 2 days in a row? Why not? Italiano. But I knew I had to get up early today so that I could get ready in time for my friend to come pick me up for my sponsor's funeral. And so I didn't want to stay up super late last night. So I woke up after sleeping for like an hour and a half. We got home at like 10:30. No, I must have only slept for like an hour. So I got up and I watched 2 episodes. So I'm watching that show La Brea. Do you guys remember me talking about that in the past? So it was a show that was on like NBC or something like that. You can watch it on Hulu. You can watch it on Peacock, I think. The 2nd season of it comes out September 22nd. I tried to watch it like when it first came out. It very much reminds me of Lost. Where it's like a group of people that are like stuck somewhere. And so it's about these people that fall into this sinkhole. It's pronounced La Brea. I know that now after watching 5 episodes of the show. But they all, like, this sinkhole, like, just comes out of nowhere in the middle of the afternoon on La Brea in Los Angeles, and all these people fall into it. And now they're stuck in this, like, other world, and they're trying to figure out where they're at. And, I mean, this all happens in the first episode, so I'm not ruining anything for you. It's like 10,000 BC, okay? And they don't know how they got to 10,000 BC. And how are they going to get home? And so it's kind of like Lost in some kind of ways. It kind of reminds me of that. It's good. I like it. Some of it is corny, I will say, but some of it is good. I mean, it's binge-worthy enough for me to keep on watching it. I've watched 5 episodes. There's only 10 episodes in a season, so I'm going to keep on watching it, obviously. So I stayed up and I watched 2 episodes of that, and then I was like, go to bed. You need to go to bed. And that was about 1:30. No, that was about 2. Yeah, I think it was about 2. Because I think I reached over here and I looked at my phone when I was watching the show, and it said 1:30. And so I finished right at 2, and I went upstairs and I went to bed. And then I tossed and turned again. Me falling asleep late is part of the problem. Like, that needs to stop. Which I'm sure somebody will put in the comment section. Peter, you need to stop falling asleep so late. I know. The thing is, like, when I just kind of, like, fall asleep next to Alex, like, late at night, like, I sleep so well. But, like, if I were to sleep straight through the night like then, I would either sleep, like, a lot of hours, or, like, I would sleep, like, 12 hours, or I would wake up at, like, 4 o'clock in the morning and not be able to go back to bed. And then and people are like, well, what's wrong with that? Then, well, I can't start working at 4 o'clock in the morning. There's nothing I can do. You know, Alex isn't up until 7 to 9. Usually 8:30 is when he gets up. So I can't do anything between 4 and 8:30, you know. And then if I'm up at that time, then by like noon or 1, I'm really tired. So it's like, then I'm wanting to take a nap at noon or 1, and then my whole day is all messed up. So we'll figure out the sleep schedule. I'm not too worried about it. I know some of you out there are worried about it, but I'm not that worried about it. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out one of these days. So today my friend came and picked me up, and it just was like, it was fantastic. I mean, it was a funeral, so it was sad. I don't mean it like that, but it was just fantastic to see all of the love in that room. It was really cool. Like, his sister gave, like, she didn't give a speech, but she got up and spoke. And she said that, like, she was arranging the funeral with this guy that was a friend of my sponsors. And he said, you know, there's going to be, like, hundreds of people there. And she was like, he didn't know hundreds of people. And he was like, you have no idea how many people that he knew, and how many people he touched, and how many lives he saved, and things like that. And so she got up, and she said, her daughter was there too, and she said, I just want to thank all of you for coming here and letting me know how much my brother was loved, and how much good he really did in the world, and stuff like that. And so then this other guy that he has sponsored just about as long as he had he sponsored him, kept on sponsoring him up until the time he passed away. He got up and he, like, spoke, and at the end, he said he had his sister and his niece come and stand up and look at the crowd. And he said, if you've ever been, like, you know, if you're somebody that was saved by him, or if you're somebody that, you know, like, he helped or reached out to, like, all listed all of these things, right? Like, would you stand up? And like the entire room stood up, and she just like started bawling, and it just was really cool, you know. It was really cool to see the impact that one life can have so positively, you know. I think we think about just like, well, first of all, one of the things that I love about recovery people is that they're real. And like when I was going in, I saw his best friend, who had also been his sponsor for like over 40 years. And so I gave him a hug and I said, I'm really sorry. You know, I know how close you guys were and whatever, because this guy's like a good friend of mine too. And he said, I'm not sorry. And he goes, I don't want him to be in pain anymore. And he goes, and he'd been in pain for the last 8 to 10 years. He said, he goes, I'm glad. He goes, I miss the hell out of him. He goes, but I'm glad that he's not suffering and he's not in pain anymore. And, you know, and I mean, I miss him too, and I'm sad that he's gone. But like, he suffered a lot, you know, like he was really in pain. His sister was talking about that, like she would like meet up with him for lunch, and you know, just to see him like walk out of the restaurant, like was like, she felt so bad with his rheumatoid arthritis that she never like had any clue like really how bad it was until she would see him like leaving the restaurant and stuff, you know. And he just was in tons and tons of pain. But I think when you're given the opportunity in life to really like touch somebody's life in a positive way, if you're given that opportunity, do you take it, or do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, he was just a really, really selfless man. Wasn't concerned with material things. Would tell it like it was. I remember when I came in, going back to meetings again, you know, there was like a lot of shame that I had with having not been part of the program for so long and not being going to meetings. And I would see him at this clubhouse that I used to go to a lot. And I would walk in the room, you know. And this is part of also my like social anxiety, but definitely I think a lot of not wanting to meet people eye to eye. Like in my home group, when we close the meeting and we're saying a prayer and we're holding hands at the end, we look at each other, like we go around the circle and we look at each other in each other's eyes and like nod, and that's like, I see you, you see me kind of thing. And so I can remember one day going into this meeting, and I came in and I was like looking down, you know, and he stopped me and just like, and he was very direct and not like maybe in the nicest way. He like took my head, like my chin, and he put it up like this. And he goes, when you walk into a room, you hold your head up high. You're a person of character today. And I'll never forget that, you know. Sad though. At the end, the guy that was like leading the funeral, or he was like, I can't think of a better way to end a funeral for him than for all of us to just give like one big round of applause for his life. And like everybody just like started cheering. And I'm like sitting there like bawling. Oh. And I thought he would love that so much, that people are like, you know, cheering him on, like his life and what his life stood for. And then the guy was like, okay, we're going to sing a song as we going out, and we're all going to stand in place and dance for him. And it was that Diana Ross song, you know, someday we'll be together. It's crazy to think, like, all the people that I have met, like, I walked in there today, and it's just like, I don't even know how many people were there, 200. How many people I knew. How many people have touched my life. How many people have been, that were there, that, you know, not just him, but have been like such a huge, profound part of like my life. And I think back on like how much I would have missed had I not gotten sober. It was funny because this guy, who I absolutely love, and he's probably been sober 35, 40 years by now, and I have thought many times, like, whenever I'm thinking about like getting another sponsor, I always think of him, but he's just like a dear friend. And so I was talking to him for a long time. I was sitting down before the viewing started, and so I was talking to him for a long time. And well, there was a viewing for 2 hours before the service started, and he was like, yeah, I was talking with so and so, and this guy came up to us, and he was like telling us like all these stories about him. Like, I mean, literally the entire room was recovery people, right? All recovery people that mostly knew each other at one, like at least had seen each other, you know, and across the room or something. And he was like, this guy came up to my friend and this other guy, and we're like, yeah, like, I used to, back in the day, we used to like get so drunk together, and he was so hilarious, and he was telling these stories, and he was like, now, how do you know him? And this guy next to my friend was like, we know him like everybody else in this room knows him. We know him from being in recovery, from being sober. And this guy like looked at him and goes, now, I knew he was involved in some kind of like treatment program kind of thing, but I didn't know that's what all these people are here for. This guy was like there, and he had no clue, right? Like, he was like one of maybe like 3 or 4 people that were in this room that had like no idea that my sponsor was like ever connected to anything recovery, because that's what he was so known for, you know, like everything that he did was about his sobriety. So it was cool. I was talking about, his sister was talking about this waitress at this one restaurant that they used to go to. This is where I think we don't really think about how we really affect people's lives, or when we talk about practicing random acts of kindness, like how much like that really does for people, you know? And so she was talking about how this restaurant that they would go to in Noblesville, where which is where I go to meetings and stuff like that, which is up north from me, and it's where I used to like, you know, drive and do my vlogs and stuff like that. And she said they would go there and meet for lunch, and there was this one waitress. She said all the girls up there were so nice, they always loved him and everything like that, but there was this one waitress that she would like take his car starter, because he had a car starter like in the winter, and she would start his car, and then she would like, you know, back it up and pull it up for him so that he could just come out and get in it and whatever, right? And his friend, his best friend that was also his sponsor, like yelled, she's in the back, she's in the back. And his sister was like, so the waitress in the back. And but you know, you don't think sometimes like that, of just like waving to a neighbor that walks down the street, or just, you know, saying hi to somebody, or doing just these really small random acts of kindness, how much they really can, you know, just checking on somebody, I think. How much they really can greatly affect somebody's life, you know, for the better. And you don't have to be this, like, great person to just do good deeds, you know. You don't have to be a saint. I think whenever you talk about that, you know, it's always somebody you offend out there. It's like, oh, well, you think you're so good, or you think you're a saint, or whatever. And it's like, no, just maybe trying to put a little bit more good into the world each and every day. Just a little bit, you know. If we each did that, if each of us just put a little bit more than we're already putting out there in the world, imagine what the world would be like, you know. It would be a pretty magical place. So yeah, so that was my day. Feels weird losing 2 sponsors in 1 year. 2 men that impacted my life in such a great way. You know, I was sitting there in the service, and I was kind of just like looking at the casket. Like, if I had a chance to say anything to him, you know, like, what would I say? And I think I just would say thank you. It's like this guy that was like speaking, he like read through one of his books, and he said he wanted to like pick out like a highlighted section to just talk about or whatever. It's like a recovery book, and so he like just like went backwards in the book, and he was like, the first thing that like comes out that's highlighted is what I'm gonna read, and that will define his life. And the first thing that stuck out was keep it simple. And I thought that was so cool, you know. And he was like, I think that really speaks to his life and who he was as a person. Keep it simple. And I agree. So with that being said, I'm going to get off here now because Alex is home, and I think he's probably watching Dynasty or something, but I'm going to go see if he wants to do something for dinner or what we're going to. He said he wasn't hungry, so if we're going to do something or if I need to figure out something on my own. And we've got the Housewives to watch too, catch up on. A lot of drama going on with the Housewives. Oh my gosh. Have you guys been keeping up with all that in the social? A lot. Very sad stuff going on with the Housewives. So anyway, I'm going to get off here and get all my videos up and going so that I can relax. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Friday, a wonderful beginning to your weekend. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want. I almost forgot that. 2, practice random acts of kindness. And 3, most important, and don't ever forget this, reach out to somebody and let them know how much it means, how much they mean to you. You don't know, you might really be, you know, changing that person's day around for the better. So don't forget to do that. And remember I was talking about 4-leaf clovers one day? Somebody sent me a picture of a 4-leaf clover that they found. I thought that was so cool. I loved it. I'll have to find out who it was and show it to you in my next vlog if I remember. So anyway, thank you for hanging out on the front porch with me. This has been a lot of fun. And I love you guys so much. Be kind to one another. Love each other a little bit more. And most importantly, love yourself. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Same place, same time. Same time, same place. Love you. Bye. Love you. And for those that need to hear it, and those that want to hear it, and those that just happen to stick around, one more I love you. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Happy birthday, Lena.